The crowd is fired up for this one. Coach O is more than fired up for this one. We will show you the shots from outside and the great defensive plays leading to points as well. Who doesn't love Sam Carver?
Final 5 seconds, 2, 1, Carver, and the buzzer, he scores, and the Cardinals win, a three-pointer at the buzzer for Sam Carver, and the fans are on the floor, the Cardinals are going to the semifinals.
Sports Night is next.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Sports Night. I'm Joe Young.
And I'm Howie Shapiro. You know, I'm still on this emotional high from that game, and obviously
I can't.
We're going to talk about it, but then we have to move past because there's another game ahead.
Well, I can't hear it enough. We could keep watching it, and it would not get old for me.
No, I agree.
Just so exciting. We only have one game to talk about in the past week in Coon Rapids athletics, but it was so exciting that we're going to stretch the show out and give it its due coverage, because it definitely deserves everything we can do for it.
We tried to make it into an hour show, but unfortunately time constraints wouldn't allow because we certainly could talk about this matchup for an hour.
Yeah, it was so great, and it has happened so many times this season already for the boys basketball team that the game has gone down to the final seconds. A couple have not gone their way. Several have gone their way in the final seconds, and we've had the pleasure of being at several of those last-second games, but none meant as much as this one.
Somebody asked me about the game, and I said, you know, it may be the highlight of the 20 years you and I, almost 20 years that you and I have been doing. It's got to be in the top 3, I think, top 5 for sure. But for me, it's right there at the top. It just the excitement and the emotion on the line and the way the game ended. It was you couldn't have asked for a better outcome.
No question, an instant CTN classic. Yep. There was just so much excitement surrounding this game. The Cardinals were hosting a section tournament game for the first time in nearly 20 years. Fans filled the field house for the matchup, and they would definitely get their money's worth. The Cardinals and Tornadoes split the season series, with each team winning on the road. This time it was win or the season's over, and the two teams took everyone on a wonderful roller coaster ride to the very end. Tornadoes were the first to take the momentum. Josh Larson's three-pointer put Anoka in front 6-0 early. But Coon Rapids responded with a run of their own. With defense leading the way, Brandon Pratt gets the steal, and he's going to take it all the way in to get the scoring started for the home squad. That sparked the Cardinals off an Anoka miss in close. Sam Carver grabs the rebound, gets it up court quickly. Tyrion Johnson takes it strong to the rim. Johnson had 7 points in the first half. And he wasn't alone leading the charge. Lionel Warner with a great start for the Cardinals gets a steal, takes it in for the score. Coon Rapids takes control with a 13-0 run. Midway through the half now, Warner again, great move to get to the baseline, and puts the sweet roll into the basket, gets the foul, and the Cardinals lead by 10, 20-10. But the momentum wouldn't stay in their corner. Anoka has the answer. Addison Ostendorf's three, part of an 8-point surge to get the Cardinals right back in the game. Big part of the comeback for Anoka was their pressure on the offensive boards. 6'7" center Jacob Phipps gets put back to cut the lead to 2. Tornadoes able to come all the way back, even the score at 26 with a minute remaining before the break. Cardinals, though, able to score the final 3 points before the half, including the little baseline floater by Marcus Rask. That helped Coon Rapids take a 29-26 lead to the locker room. And Howie, as we hit the half, it was very exciting, but it was kind of what we have seen a number of times from this team. Ups and downs, and we knew that the second half, they had to have more ups than downs in order to survive.
Yeah, no question about it. And this is a Anoka team that obviously came in. They were scrappy, and as we get into the second half highlights, obviously wouldn't go away when that lead was built up again. But the Cardinals, with that 3-point lead, had that little bit of momentum going into the break. Even though they lost that 10-point lead, they still had the advantage going into the second half.
Yeah, and it was intense, and there was a great crowd on hand, and everybody was very nervous on both sides, knowing how important that second half.
Yeah, well over 1,000 people at that game, and it really was. The atmosphere in the barn, as we like to call it, was exciting, and it didn't stop from start to finish.
Yeah, it was great to be a part of, for sure.
Well, if the first half wasn't enough to test the hearts and nerves of everyone in the audience, there was still another 18 minutes to play. Fans from both sides had their chances to cheer and to jeer, and by the end there were a few fingernails left. The end was as exciting as anyone could have imagined and left a lot of people wiping away tears of joy on one side and tears of disappointment on the other. The Tornadoes came streaming out of the locker room and kept the pressure on the higher-seeded Cardinals. Josh Larson's basket made it a one-point game. And the next trip down, it was the big man, Phipps, giving Anoka the lead at 32-31 just over 3 minutes into the second half, their first lead since very early in the game. It was Coon Rapids' chance to answer with a run. They get a spark from Marcel Winston, who came off the bench, scored 9 points straight for the Cardinals. His three-pointer put Coon Rapids back in front by just under 11 minutes remaining in regulation, and the pendulum was fully behind the Cardinals once again. Lionel Warner's basket with 5.5 minutes left completed a 17-3 run that once again had Coon Rapids in front by 10. Well, those Tornadoes were down, but definitely not out. They led a desperation charge over the final few minutes. Phipps' basket underneath got Anoka within 6. Phipps led the Tornadoes with 16 on the night. Another great defensive stop, great passing by Anoka. It's Ostendorf hitting a three-pointer that made this one-possession game with 1:45 left on the clock. Momentum's back in the Anoka corner, and Larson keeps it going. He gets the steal, takes it to the basket, makes the deficit cut to 1 with less than 90 seconds left. Missed three throw with 17 seconds on the clock, and then Anoka had a chance to tie or take the lead. They find Larson with an open look at the top of the key, put Anoka up 52-51 with 7 seconds to go. Well, the Cards are going to push it up court. They're going to move it across to Sam Carver, who puts up a long three. He nails it at the buzzer, giving the Cardinals the dramatic win, their first playoff victory in 7 seasons.
I definitely get chills when I hear the end of the game. Yep. But even just watching it with the natural sound, I still get chills because it was so exciting. And it was, I mean, so many years, 20 years we've done, 20 seasons.
Yep.
We saw the lead dwindle. We saw it disappear. And we saw Anoka take a lead with 7 seconds left. And inside me, I'm thinking, oh, goodness, we were so close and we let it get away. And then for Sam, and Sam Carver, of all people, who has been, with the program for 4 straight years, playing since his freshman year. He missed almost an entire year due to a shoulder injury. He had kind of a tough start to the season, but has come on strong. Only had 4 points throughout the game to that point. They get it to him. He's at least 22 feet from the basket, well beyond pro range, and he just turns and sticks it, and I mean nothing but net. It was just such a great way for the game to end.
Well, no question about it, and certainly happy for Sam and all the guys. But Sam is his final game on the home court, for him to end it the way he did, and it's so deserving for what a great guy he is. And this team, we talked to Lionel Warner as well. So much chemistry on this team, and there's no selfishness. Everybody shares the ball. Everybody makes plays. It was so exciting to see.
Yeah, it's a very senior-dominated team, and they have worked together well to get them to this point. And they got some much-deserved TV time at the end. Here's what they had to say after the game.
Well, to be honest, I didn't even see it go in. We've been in these situations a lot this year, and we all know how to sort of play these ones out, so it's nice to get one in the playoffs, I guess. We've been working hard for 4 years. We've been going up to St. Francis the last 3 years and got destroyed all 3 times. It's about time we got a playoff win. We work hard for this. This is what, but it's a couple more games to go, and we're going to get it done.
And I love that about Lionel, very composed. He led the team with 18 points in this game. Tyrion Johnson at 9 points. Marcel Winston also had 9 points. Sam Carver, only 7 points in the game. So only one player in double digits,
right.
But no points bigger than Sam's final 3. It was just such a great ending and so much fun to be a part of. And it was so exciting that, kind of a lot of people knew this was the first time in a long time that this team has had a home playoff game. And all season long, their success has definitely, word has mingled. And people have become more and more fans have come into that, and it's so exciting to see those fans, those stands full again for games, because And I believe Sam talked about it after we interviewed him. We talked a little bit more after the camera wasn't rolling. He says, I've played in so many games where it's so empty in here and it's just so much fun in front of that type of crowd to have that kind of game and then to come away with the dramatic win. Just so great. And I can't talk about it enough.
Well, fan support is marvelous here, and obviously with the crowd that they drew, and when Sam hit that final shot, and then the kids ran out onto the court, it doesn't get any better than that. It's so much fun.
Well, and as you watch it, after Larson hits the three-pointer, some of the Anoka fans are ready to jump on the floor, and a couple others are saying, "Wait, the game's not over." And then when Sam hits it, it's under a second left as it goes through the cylinder, and the fans flood the floor. And I'm telling you, as you went down to do the post-game interviews, I looked around, moms, dads, grandmas, grandpas, tears in their eyes, just so excited for this team. And I'm getting choked up just talking about it.
No question about it.
It was just so great. But I love that Lionel Warner is so composed, says, yeah, it was great to get this win, but we've got more work to do. We've got a couple more games to play, and we're going to get it done. The next step comes in North Branch on Wednesday. The Cardinals facing another team that they have split the season series with. The Andover Huskies, the number 7 seed in the tournament, had lost to the Blaine Bengals twice during the regular season, but they take them to overtime and get the win in the section tournament. So now the Cardinals face Andover, and that's going to be a big one. The winner moves on to Friday's championship. Up on the top half of the bracket, Duluth East, a win over St. Francis, and Forest Lake handling Cambridge Isani relatively easily, a 17-point win for them. As the top seed, they will be the favorite in the early game on Wednesday night. And by the time the Cardinals take the court, we will know who awaits in that championship round.
No question about it. And and section time is very different, obviously, than the regular season because it's one and done, and you can't look past an opponent. You can't any time, but especially in section. So the Cardinals know against Andover they've got a tough matchup, and they've got Andover has an extremely good team, an extremely good player in Logan Rizak, and so that's going to be one of the challenges ahead of Coon Rapids.
Well, each team has been able to win on their home floor, but the win the Cardinals got certainly didn't come easy. The Andover Huskies came in the first time these two teams met in January, and the Cardinals had to go to overtime to get the 65-61 win. Lionel Warner, a big game with 22. Tyrion Johnson had 16. Marcel Winston had 12. And on the flip side, you had 3 guys in double digits as well. Rizak leading the way with 22. Knopfler had 12, and Schumacher had a dozen as well. And it got a little ugly when the Cardinals traveled to Andover. The Huskies running away with the win, 73-58 on Valentine's Day. Certainly no love lost between these two teams, but Logan Rizak putting up a school record 43 points in that game. Tyrion Johnson led the Cardinals with 21. Lionel Warner had 18, and Sam Carver had 10. And I think that will be a big key for the Cardinals. They've got to get big contributions from all of their top guys if they want to get past the Huskies and get to Friday's championship.
No question about that. We saw as the season progressed, more players scoring in double digits. You saw Sam and Tyrion and Lionel obviously scoring double digits, and that's the kind of thing they're going to need, obviously, to get past Andover and move on to Friday's game.
Well, and defense has been a big key for this team all season long, and that defense will be tested. 65 points for Logan Rizak in the 2 meetings with Andover this year. They are going to have to find a way to at least limit his scoring when they play him in the postseason. Well, we have much more to talk about the game that's happened and the game to come. We have Coach Mike Ogorek joining us in the studio. We're going to take a short break, and Sports Night will continue after this.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds.
Babies require persistence, patience, a sense of humor, and protection. That's why nearly all parents choose immunization. It's safe, proven protection against 14 serious diseases like measles and whooping cough. So give your baby the recommended vaccines before age 2 and get a little help in the protection department. For more reasons to immunize, talk to your child's doctor or go to cdc.gov/vaccines.
So I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
Mom, can we get some ice cream? Please, Mom, please.
No, we're having dinner soon.
Please.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of children in foster care who will take you just as you are.
They say it was last touched by him. So a 2-point game. Anoka one chance to tie or to take a lead with a 3-pointer. Larson for 3, it's good. Cardinals trail, final 5 seconds, 2-1. Carver at the buzzer, he scores, and the Cardinals win. A 3-pointer at the buzzer for Sam Carver, and the fans are on the floor. The Cardinals are going to the semifinal.
Oh my God, what a way for this game to finish. It's amazing. The fans are on the floor. Sam Carver with a desperation.
And that's the way it ended. And again, I can't hear that enough. I at the end I say yikes, and yikes is right because it was so exciting. I mean, words just don't express how much excitement was in the building and how much fun it was to be a part of it. We're joined now on the special Sports Night set by head coach Mike Ogorek. And Coach, first of all, what were your thoughts as the Larson hit the 3, and then as you saw the ball leave Sam's hands?
A lot of people have asked, so it's you're in the moment, so it's really almost hard to remember. But I know when Larson hit the 3, is they got the ball, the thing I'm thinking is like, oh my goodness, they're gonna have a chance to win this game. They're gonna have a chance to make a shot here. Lo and behold, there's good execution on their end to get a look for him. It goes in, and it's just this gut punch. But it's move on. Like we had no timeouts anyway, but we know we've been in these scenarios even when we weren't, even in past years, when we weren't in games that were close like this. We've practiced this scenario. Okay, end of the game, what are we doing? Lo and behold, Brandon gets it out to Sam and throws it up, and really from there, all I remember is just the roar of the crowd and just the rush of humanity. I mean, it's just loud and just whoosh. I will remember that for a long time. So
the first thing I looked at when Larson hit that shot, my first look went over to you, and you were actually pretty calm. I think you had your arms folded and you were just kind of watching the action. I'm thinking to myself, what is he thinking in his head? And but it happened so quickly.
Yeah.
And the fact when then Sam dropped it and then the emotion happened, it was almost like you didn't really you had time to process it, but yet you didn't.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah. It's like I said, sort of gut punch. Like you've got to be, you got to be kidding me. My wife jokes with me from my coaching days going up through AU, through all levels. My teams have lost some of the weirdest games, like this half-court shots, three-quarter court shots. You get that, you forget about that in the past. Past is past, but it was one of those like, oh my gosh, we're here again, I guess is it. And then we hit one, and it was funny because I go to my wife afterwards and things is, you finally got one of those. You finally got one. I'm like, yes, I believe the curse is over now. So, yeah, it was just, again, it's just a moment you'll remember forever. I remember, the crowd was rushing. You're trying to shake hands at the end of the game, and it just, it was awesome. It was a very special night. We're lucky. The basketball gods wouldn't allow our season to end that night. And that's what I told our guys. We did not play the best basketball. That's one of the first questions I asked when we got in the locker room. Like, how did we play tonight? But for some reason, the basketball god said, not tonight. And let's do what we need to do in our power to put it in our hands next time, But, yeah, special night. No doubt about it.
And what a way for this season to continue. You come into a program a few years back, had no wins the year before you took over. They have 1 win your first year, 2 wins your second, 3 wins your third year. We're hoping for 6 wins this year. You get 12, and then you get to the playoffs, you've got a home game, and for it to end the way it did, with this group of seniors, how special has this ride been?
It's one of those things that's it's hard to think about now. I've told the guys early in the year when things were going well and we're getting in some publications. And I told my guys, I'm like, there's a keepsake box. Again, random wife, she has a box in the closet. And I'm like, what is this? And it's got a bunch of coaching things in there. And I'm like, what is this? He's like, well, it's a keepsake box for when you're done. And so I use that as an analogy with our guys. I'm like, I don't open that box. I don't, look in there. I'm like, but it's there. And when my journey is done as a coach, I think you look back at there, you share the memories and the games and all that. And I told our guys within the season, I'm like, there's going to be moments here, and now's not the time to look at the clippings of, oh, wow, we're 3-1. This is the best start. Now's the time, it's about the process. The process has always been the process. What are we doing every day to get better? Are we doing the little things right in the classroom, on the court to get better? And when this journey is done, then we could look at the keepsake box. This is very much like the whipped cream and cherry of the cream of the keepsake box, if you will. So it's really hard to look back big picture right now because I'm in it. I'm in it right now. We just had practice today, preparing for Andover. The best I could say is like when I said in the interview, I think it's just it's special for a kid like Sam Carver to hit that shot. What he's meant to this program, to this school. And just like when Tyrion Johnson broke the school record on senior night of single game, I think Tyrion will be one of the first to say, hey, this is us seniors that broke this record, that are going to be in this book. And I think Sam Carver will be one of the first to say, this is us seniors that made this shot, that gave this program this moment that will stand the test of time.
We've done enough games, obviously, over the years, and we've done a handful of really nice games this season as well. I think you look at the attitude of this team versus teams in the past, far different from what you've had in the first few years that you've been here.
Shoulders never fall.
Yeah, and I think they've never given up, and they always fight to the buzzer. And I think that's a testament to you and your coaching staff as well.
It's a test. Well, I'd say first and foremost, it's our guys buying into the vision and working their tails off every day, keeping each other accountable on and off the court. And it's such a great group of young men. This senior class is going to be very special to me. I don't want the journey to end. I'm hoping that we're going in the next week. That's our plan, to go in the next week. But, one of the things we talked about with these guys in general, especially the guys that I've saw every day for 4 years. Marcus and Sam played varsity as freshmen, but Tyrion Johnson was there with JV. And things we talked about is we're going to change what Coon Rapids basketball is, and how we go about things, how people look at us, and they've done that. There's no doubt about it. And again, it's a very special group, and I don't want to. Now you're getting me in this big picture thing. I don't want to go there yet, but
let's keep you back in the moment and in the focus. Andover coming up on Wednesday.
Yeah,
you beat them in overtime the first time.
Yep.
They took you to task the second time. Yeah. What happens time 3?
Well, they have one heck of a player in Logan Rizak. And they've got some young guys that have really earned their stripes this year. This is a team, you may look at the 7 next to them and say, 7 seed. This is not, especially within our section, this section is wide open. I think all the coaches knew in this section, this is an 8-team race. Anyone can win it. They're very much one of those teams. They've played a lot of close games this year. I remember at the seeding meeting, Coach Ani said, honestly, this is probably one of the best teams I've had here. This is his 4th year, too. He goes, but we just haven't been able to finish those close games. They did the other night. Because a lot of guys getting better. They're tough. They are very well coached. This is a group, they just know. They know our personnel. They know our actions. You know, you play some teams like on the other half of the conference, and you could pull off some things on some of those teams because, you know, it's the first time seeing you. Not Andover. They know your actions. They know who you are. They know your personnel, and it's going to be a battle. It's going to come down to, you know, we're going to want to limit what they do. They're going to want to limit what we do. Who takes care of the ball the most? And who could hit the shots, and that's gonna be the separator. You know, who takes care of the ball, and who could shoot, and that's been our focus big time at post Nilka.
You know, I think you go back to your game plan as any game, regardless of the matchup, and really you stress defense and turnovers leading to points. And I think that I'm sure those are some of the things you tell your guys. Absolutely. We're going to have to continue to play that kind of defense, play tough D, and then finish.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. You know, the other night we were not aesthetically pleasing offensively. I don't think you'll put that game in the archives of great offensive basketball. John Wooden may have rolled around in his grave a little bit even. No, but what we did is we defended against Anoka the other night. We held them to 34% shooting, and that's been our calling card all year. Like, we understand, you know, that defense leads to offense. Our guys love to run. And they know the best way to run. Let's defend and get some of these turnovers. That's going to be key. That's going to be the calling card for us big time. And I am going to, you know, you got to give Anoka credit, Andover credit, I should say, because the second time around, you could see some of the adjustments they made with what we did, in particular from one half to the next. And you know, Logan Rizak's such a good player, and at times we let him play horse. And he will beat us in horse every time. So we got to make sure that he can't just square up and shoot all night.
Well, we are definitely looking forward to it. It's, you know, I talked to you a little bit after the game. You made us drive to St. Francis the last 3 years in a row. We were very happy not to have that road trip. Yeah. I have not looked forward to a road trip for a Coon Rapids game this much in a very, very long time.
Yeah.
So we are very happy to be along for the ride on the Cardinal train, and looking forward to the matchup tomorrow night against Andover, and hoping that we'll see you again on Friday.
That's the plan. My plans Friday night are being in North Branch. So I'm excited to have you guys along with the ride. I just want to share one thing. I remember last year I was at the section semifinals and championship, and they got the banners up, you know, like Forest Lake fans sit here. And I took a picture of that and sent it to our guys and said, next year that's the bird head. Well, guess what? It's the bird head.
All
so
right.
Here we go.
Cool. All right. Well, we're looking forward to it, and we hope all the CTN viewers will come along for the ride as well. Obviously, because it's a playoff game, not able to do the game live, but you will definitely be able to see the semifinal game here on CTN and also on YouTube after the fact. And we're hoping that we'll have Friday night's game, championship game as well. Coach, thanks so much for being with us here tonight.
Thanks for having me.
Look forward to seeing you tomorrow night, and we're hoping again for another game on Friday night.
Let's do it.
That's going to do it for this edition of Sports Night. I want to thank everybody out there for joining us and continuing to support everything we do here at CTN. For the entire crew, including Howie Shapiro, I'm Joe Young, saying good night.